Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Steve again, Harmless Rebel, doing this is a hard rock and heavy metal update, but this is all live albums. I've been on kind of a live album kick lately. Um, been going to a lot of live shows too, so that may have something to do with it. But I had a bunch of live albums sitting in the inbox piles over here, and as I was listening to those, I started pulling some stuff out of the collection too. But so let's just kind of jump in. We'll start off with a couple of unofficials. I believe these are both FM broadcasts. This first one is headed out to Houston, live in Texas, June 8, 1983. Judas Priest. This one is good, not great. I would give this one probably a 6 out of 10. I still really like this one though. 84. At that point, you've got almost all of their biggest hits, and this one's a decent one to have. If you could find this one for cheap, I would go ahead and grab it. The next one, however, I do not recommend. This is Fuel for Life, 1986. Again, another live or an FM broadcast. This one is from St. Louis, Missouri. This one I would give like a 3 or 4 out of 10. This kind of reminds me of the early 80s bootlegs. The vocals are really high and shrill on here and just kind of overpower everything else. It is a little bit fatiguing on the ears after a while, which is sad because it's a fantastic set list. I love the set list on this. It's just, and then I mean, you even got some songs on here like "Private Property," which you never hear live, but "Rock You All Around the World." What else was on here? Head Out to the Highway, Turbo Lever. Those are still, the rest of them are still on their set list for the most part. But this one I was really looking forward to, and again disappointed by it. I wouldn't buy this one, even for the Judas Priest guys that have to have everything. I don't recommend this one. Then we roll into a fantastic double LP. This one is official. This is Twisted Sister live at the Marquee, 1983. Rhino did a fantastic job on this. Their first album was the only one out at this point. Was it Under the Knife? Is that what their first album was? Oh man, it's gonna drive me nuts. Under the Blade. Sorry. Under the Blade had just come out when they did this tour. If you've watched the documentary about Twisted Sister, though, which is fantastic, you'll know that Twisted Sister had been around for a long time. They had been touring for almost 10 years, doing the tri-state area, doing shows in the tri-state area for before their first album came out. So, they were a really well rehearsed, well in sync band from day one. This is just really killer. If you're only into the Metal Health era stuff, this one's not for you. I would still recommend checking this one out though, because I know a lot of guys that only know Metal Health, and this will give you an idea of how good the band actually was, minus those couple songs from Metal Health that everybody seems to know. Fantastic double live though. Next up, Kiss Off The Soundboards. So I bought the first Off The Soundboards, which was the show in Tokyo from 2002. And the reason that I missed that, or the reason I bought that one, is because I almost went to that show. I was in Japan at the time. I actually went to, I can't remember if the show I went to was the day before or the day after. But it was at Tokyo Dome. My wife was who I was dating at the time. We had been dating for about 6 months at that point. Her favorite band is Bon Jovi. So instead of going to see Kiss, I bought tickets to Bon Jovi and took my wife to Bon Jovi. Tickets in Japan were really expensive. I think I paid $150 a piece for tickets, which these days doesn't sound like much, but in 2002, and for what I was making I think I was an E5 in the military at that time, that was quite a bit of money. But anyway, so that's why I bought the first Off The Soundboard. I didn't plan on buying any of the other Off The Soundboards. However, I found this one for like $28. They sell for almost $50, so I bought it. Unfortunately, this one is not very good. The band it just doesn't sound great. Paul's voice is already kind of starting to go here. But this was live at Virginia Beach, 2004. So if you're a Kiss collector and you have to have it, grab it. I don't really recommend this one though. It was okay. It's not great. Next up, one of the all-time great live albums. This one is fantastic. But you've got Tokyo Tapes from the Scorpions. I ran across this German pressing. Is this a German pressing? Yeah. I ran across this German pressing, and it just sounds better than U.S. I have the U.S. pressing as well, which I may end up trading or sending to somebody as a gift. But this is just such a great live album. If you don't have this in your collection, go out and buy it now. This is a 10 out of 10. Next up, I talked about volume 2 of this about a year ago. I ran across it and I was looking everywhere for volume 1. I couldn't find it anywhere. And then at a record show about 6 months ago, the last record show where I sold stuff, one of the guys happened to have a copy of this and I couldn't grab it fast enough. But this is the World Is Ours volume 1. Does it say where this one was in Santiago, Chile in 2011? Really great show. If you can find these volume 1 and 2 for a good price, grab them. They seem to be shooting up into the $50-$60 price range. I wouldn't pay that much for them. Just keep looking and you'll find them for a good deal, but they're definitely worth having in the collection. And then along the same lines as those, they've been doing these lost tapes for every record store day. I highly recommend grabbing all of these because the shows are all really good. This one's live in Malmo. Malmo. I don't know where Malmo is. Where is it? Does it say? I don't know where that is. Let's see. A monstrous live set from the We Are Motorhead tour. It's from 2000. I'm not sure where Malmo is. I'm sure somebody will put it in the comments. But really fantastic set. All of these have been really good. Is this number 4? I believe. Does it say on the back? I know it says on here somewhere. This is volume 3. Okay. So there's 4 of these so far. The last 4 record store days, they've done one each record store day. However, on record store day, they sell for 40 something bucks. Wait 2 or 3 weeks, and you can usually get these for like $28, $29. You can go on to Discogs right now and find all of them for under 30 bucks. I would wait and grab these. Don't grab them on record store day. We're going to pay out your ears for them. But if you're a diehard Motor fan like I am, they're definitely worth having, and they are all really good sets. Next up, this one I thought was pretty good. This is Guns N' Roses Acoustic at CBGB's 1987. This one I would say a 6 or 7 out of 10. It sounds pretty good. The last 3 songs, Sweet Child of Mine, My Michelle, and Knocking on Heaven's Door, I'm not sure where those are from, but those are electric. Those are not acoustic, and are definitely not from this live broadcast. But the rest of it is. It sounds pretty good. Definitely worth grabbing for cheap. I think I paid $18 for it, which is a good price for this one. And then last but not least, is that the last one? I guess this is the last one. That was pretty quick. And then last but not least, Requiem Mass from Korn. So I've kind of gotten back onto the Korn train the last 2 albums. So I've talked about this before. I loved the first, second's a throwaway, and the third and fourth Korn albums. I was really into them at the time. And then after that, they just kind of fell off. And kind of the way I look at it is, he was writing really dark. Jonathan Davis was writing really dark stuff early on, dealing with his childhood abuse and just issues he had growing up. And kind of once he worked out those issues, I think the music went to shit. And then unfortunately, 2 albums ago, his wife died of a drug overdose. And he put out one of the best albums of his career. I would rank that in the top 3 of the Korn albums. And the last album was really good, still dealing with the death of his wife. And this one is a live EP with a few tracks from that album. And I really dug this. I've listened to this like 5 or 6 times. So definitely worth checking out. If you were a Korn fan early on and didn't like them later on like I am, check out those last couple albums, because they really did go back to that early style of writing where it's really dark and you can actually feel the emotion in it. Whereas, Twisted Transistor and all the the stuff they did with Skrillex, I thought was all stupid. So kind of going back to form with their writing and their style on the last couple. So that's it, guys. I hope everybody's doing good. I'll do another video here pretty soon with live stuff. I've got another 15 or 20 live albums I've listened to in the last few weeks I'll be showing. So take care. I hope everybody's doing good, and I will see you soon. Later, VC.